Continuing here. So yeah, what happened in 2008 was they bailed out the criminals. Okay, you understand, the politicians, the politicos. I say that in a derogatory way because yeah, they sicken me, and I'd put them all on minimum wage from the president on down. Hey, you want to do these jobs of politician, then you better be of the utmost noble characters, okay, and you're doing it strictly in service, public service of people. There's not going to be any lobbying groups. There's no money in it, so don't get involved. If you're, a money hungry, money grubbing individual, stay out of politics because we're not going to elect you, okay, and you're not going to want the job anyhow because it's going to pay minimum wage. I mean it. I try me, okay, try me. That's where I'm at. But they bailed out these criminal banksters, okay? And this was, what led up to this was Slick Willie deregulating by getting rid of this Glass-Steagall Act, allowing it to expire, which was a leash. To some degree, it was a leash that kept these banksters in line, okay? Because guys like Bill Black were jailing these type of people that were look, there's criminal activities going on in the banking industry, okay? It is absolutely immoral. It is unethical. It is ungodly. It is wrong to do what these people have done to us. And what I mean is dumping all this money on the public. Do you understand? It serves to debase our currency. It raises our cost of living tax. And then you got the mainstream media out there pumping it like it's a good thing. Okay, high housing costs. Well, hey, the taxes go up and, wow, that means more money for government coffers and the services. You see how they play it? So that's socialism. That's their kind of socialism. It's just making us all pay. And who pays the most? Remember the analogy of the, jabbing a spike in your arm, okay, which is what it's like paying it for the poor or just getting a little pinprick. Okay, because it really is life and death. And it's like playing the game of Monopoly. Imagine everybody in the world was playing this game all together. But if your rent goes up $50, okay, and you don't have the money, you're not going anywhere. Okay, you're dead in the water, you're homeless. You're out there dying in the cold, losing your will to live, being induced to commit some crime out of sheer financial terror and desperation. You say, I need that 3 hots and a cot. And like I've pointed out before in California now, hey, they're just, you got to do something really heinous, okay? If you expect that 3 hots and a cot, you're going to work for it. You're going to get a felony or something, okay? And if they let you out too soon after that, then you're going to have to commit another one. And you become a career criminal because it's the only life you know, and habits are forming. And so that's all you know. That's where we're at. And you as taxpayers, people call themselves conservatives, like, my God almighty. And then you're against a basic income that's going to prevent all this crime and all these innocent people that are dying out in the cold that refuse to become a criminal. They say, I'd rather just die. I'll lose my will to live. I'll put a bullet in my brain. I'll accept charity. I'll beg. I'll couch surf. I'll do something. I'll live in my car. Okay, but I'm not going to be, forced to commit a crime so that I can survive, and I'm not going to capitulate. I mean, it's just too hard. The game got too hard. I'm out, folks. I can't play the game anymore. You forced me, you coerced me to play this rigged game of Monopoly, and you got all these special interest groups that benefit from me losing. My loss is their gain, right? My foreclosed home. They're like vultures. That's what they are, vulture capitalism. That's what it is, crony capitalism, and all it serves is to create this great divide, this imbalance, this disparity between the haves and have-nots and the poverty, and then we look down on the food stamp recipients and the welfare recipients and say, oh my God, what, I could never accept my pride. No way, man, my dignity. How dare you accept handouts, and how dare you? I'm feeding you. I'm providing for you, and I resent it, man. You socialist. Get off your butt and find a job. Find 2 jobs. Find 3. No discussion about why does the nut keep getting harder and harder to crack? Why does it get harder and harder to reach the bar? Okay, they'll bitch and moan all day about how we were losing the middle class. Well, how are you losing the middle class? Because people can't reach the bar anymore. They can't afford home ownership. California is leading the way. And I'm ashamed of that as a native Californian. Absolutely ashamed. But it's a very desirable state. We have the moderate climate and all this crap. We got a beautiful, huge, giant, long coastline. There's a lot of, attractive features of California. We got L.A. and Hollywood and all this crap. I mean, it's got the Sierras and the lakes. It's got it all. I mean, it's California. It's got the mountains and the valleys, and we are growing. What are we? The fifth largest economy in the world. We could grow enough food literally in California to feed the entire planet. Okay, so it's a great place, but I'm ashamed that we're leading the way on this. It's like a cancer metastasizing around the world, but Alex Jones is helping it if he's not pointing out how wrong the 2008 bailout and how we really need to revisit it. And all these people, I mean, even JL, my niece's fiance's dad, JL was saying that he supported it. I could not. I would have got all upset on Thanksgiving. It was more, no way, man. I am not getting sucked into that one. But, there's people that support it because remember, it was 10% of the American people supported the bailout. So JL is one of them. But I'm not going to dislike the man. I'm just going to, I have to love everybody, okay? I have to love people that disagree with me, okay? And it's as simple as that. And he's a very nice man, and he's a dual citizen, I guess, Dutch American, and very fascinating, intelligent man, an atheist. But hey, I would strongly recommend to just, it's free insurance. Become a believer and say, is it possible? I mean, because a lot of scientists get converted, they start believing it, but. Because I just don't understand anybody that could say, well, too big to fail. Look, and how it would, upset the apple cart, and it would not only rock the boat, but it would have tipped the boat over and sunk it and all this. Because I think Alex Jones does, to a degree. I really do think he prescribes to that. At least he's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Either that, or he's got to start cheerleading to revisit 2008. And speak of the implications thereof, and buckle up your seatbelts because it's going to be traumatic. Okay, you wouldn't have seen a little tiny market correction like we saw. No. You would have seen the criminals get a freaking jagged crew cut, man, and it would have taken a little scalp off. They might have gotten like a good old-fashioned scalping is what they might have gotten from this. But it would have hurt them, and people could have kept their homes. Okay, they were the little liars. Yeah, they lied to get the loan because they saw the writing on the wall. If I don't jump on this bandwagon of home ownership now, man, that ship is sailing. I'm never going to get on board the bandwagon. So they were desperate to get on. Of course they lied, cheat, to steal. What will people do if they're financially desperate? They'll do anything practically. They murder. Do you understand what people do for money? So... all you conservatives understand you're paying $50,000 a year for rapists and murderers. You're making society unsafe. I could say it's your fault if you're opposed to a basic income. So nobody from birth is ever, induced by financial desperation to commit some heinous crime. Then it's your fault. To a degree, I can blame you if my daughters are raped out there. The next convenience store clerk that gets shot in the head. Okay? All the crime, all of it. I could put it on you. You're going to stand before God. You are going to justify your belief system. I'm perfectly fine with my belief system. I'm down with sharing the wealth of this planet. Okay, I'm down with it, man. And I want you to get down with it. And you've got to, we've all of us got to work together here to influence one another in that direction. The Lord's Prayer. Remember, this is a thus saith the Lord thing. Okay? That we are one family, the family of humanity. We got to get it. We got to go forth with empowerment from on high and demand justice in the land. Here's fighting the good fight. It's through knowledge. It's getting one step ahead of these people, being as shrewd as serpents and innocent as doves. And if it sounds like I'm an entitled, spoiled brat, that's tough, man. If God says, well, no, that's what you all are. That's what, because I say you are an entitled, spoiled brat from birth, because it's my planet, thus saith the Lord, and I want to share it with all my kids. Who are you to object? You pissant. Stop being a small-minded little pissant that resents his fellow man getting a basic income and getting to survive from birth, never feeling that insecurity, that desperation, ever. To be free, absolutely free from the money masters of misery from birth. That's what's coming. That's the Lord's Prayer. Prepare yourself for that's the world of tomorrow. Cultivate it in your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul, your intellect. It's logical. It's reasonable. It's what makes sense. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm not nuts. I know what I'm saying here. And even if I'm the only guy in the whole world saying it, I've got to keep saying it. Even if I look like a weirdo. It's just, tough noogies because... It's what's coming, man, and that's what we really need to prepare ourselves for. So fight the good fight, come hell or high water. Let the chips fall where they may. Yes, we needed the bailout of '08, and I am certainly not alone in believing that. I'm with 90+% of the American people, but it was a critical mass. Again, understanding the power of the critical mass. This tiny percentage that are the deciders of the direction we're going. Then you look into the Overton window and you think about the frog in the pot of water analogy, and you realize how they've done this to us. Are we to accept this movement of the Overton window? Is that what people are saying? Is that what JL is saying? Is that what Alex Jones is saying? That no, we just got to somehow get over it and just, that's our new reality, is just this exceedingly debased currency. Okay? Because you look at it relative to any commodity or service or combination thereof. What is your money going up or down in worth? It's that simple. If it costs more, although the mainstream, the value is up. So, higher value is always good, right? But they're not going to point out that the cost, the burden, is growing and your money is worth less, and that's called regression relative to true capitalism. They're not going to do, what are they doing to educate you? I'm trying to educate you. So you don't try to pull a wool over your eyes, okay, because I've educated you in this matter. You understand basic supply and demand, free market capitalism. You know there's risks involved. And that's exactly it. But you see, this wasn't just incompetence risk. So, the poor bankers, they were just being nice to the public, lending out all this money, and you want to punish them by not giving them their bailout, making them whole, and you want to give them a haircut. It was the public, those liars on those loans. Those are the ones. Those are bad. They deserve to lose their houses. This was the right thing to do. You see why I'm upset? And why I feel like I'm being left flapping out in the wind by people I really look up to, and why I get very angry with those people? Okay, because I've gotten on everybody's case. People but there's something they'll say that just, I disagree with that. I've done it with every great guest Alex Jones has on practically, without very few exceptions. Maybe Doug Hagman, I don't know if I've ever said anything derogatory about him. A couple others maybe. Because there's some people I hold in super high esteem. They're way smarter than me, way nicer, way better role models than I am. But Joel Skousen I really look up to, and I've got, Roger Stone, and even Joel Gilbert, on and on. These people I just really look up to like a parent. That's how I see them, because they've got all this influence and they say things that I totally agree with. But then they'll come up with this crap. All of a sudden everybody's a financial expert. I've gotten on Steve Pachenik's case, and here's another guy I vaunt in my mind that. I think, because all these people in my mind, they're real people. They're white hats. They're good guys that really are working for American precepts and principles. Okay, and understand that, America is going to do the best thing for the rest of the world, the Trumps of the world, by setting the right example. So that's why we've got to, stand behind Trump and work for the best of this country. But we've got to get it. We've got to get on the same page. Understand we've been divided on purpose. Understand the drivers of socialist sympathy. Okay, understand what's going on here. And instead of playing into it and buying it and just saying it's hopeless, it's overwhelming, we're never gonna get along on these issues. When you tap into the fact that, although it might sound like a really liberal idea to have a basic income, remember, and I just use that as an example, okay, an archetype of a method of skinning the cat, okay. That's what we need. We need a method of skinning the cat, which simply means of fixing the problems permanently. Okay, end of story. That's it. We need to focus on fixing the problems and never going back. Permanent progress until idealism. Okay, there's no plateau short of everybody sharing in the wealth of this planet and everybody being free, okay, on the face of this earth. That's the only plateau that's acceptable. That's the Lord's Prayer. That's God's will being established on earth. So going into it with that understanding, it's not that radical. And you know how much money conservatives would save? Do you know how much you're spending in the criminal industrial complex, all you taxpayers out there? You're paying to support the judges, the attorneys, because they work for the court system too, a lot of the defense attorneys, the prosecutors, okay, all those detectives, all the forensic experts, all the court clerks, all the jailers. I mean, need I go on? That's just the criminal industrial complex, whose relevance depends on financial desperation continuing, which is the driver of the vast majority of crime. So you say you're a fiscal conservative, and then you say you want a safer society, and you're a conservative, and you prescribe to these Puritan values and all that, and you're straight-laced, and you walk the straight and narrow. You're a conservative, stuffed shirt type, which is good. I like Christian conservatives. I'm kind of that way myself. But look, if it sounds like a liberal thing, which again, it's just one example of many methods to skin the cat. And like I said over and over, I'd much rather, too, just like everybody else, a gentle, gradual process, a rising tide. Who wants a tide to come in? That's like a tsunami. So I'm not for these traumatic